Hello, welcome in. My name is Amanda, and thank you so much for joining me in today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. Now, this reading is going to be a little lighter in nature. It's going to be for those who are looking for a moment to breathe, to not fix, to not change, to not improve anything, but simply nourish themselves. At the end of this reading, you'll get an insight into how you might be able to do that and where you can find a little more ease, relaxation, and even comfort in your day or week. Now, if you're new to my channel, my readings are a mirror, not a crystal ball. They are a point of reflection, a way to remember your power and broaden your sense of possibility. They aren't a fix, they are invitations to explore and find answers for yourself. So take what fits and leave what doesn't. In front of you, there are 3 piles. Choose one that calls to you, or follow your curiosity and explore all 3. The timestamps and extra details are waiting for you in the description box. Trust your gut, pick your path, and let's uncover another clue on your journey. Hello, my Soul Path 1. Welcome in. You chose Commune with Nature with the blue damselfly. There's a playfulness with this, but also being with the rhythms of nature. So getting out into nature, communing with nature, observing nature might be something that you might do to help nourish yourself, find more natural spaces. Also, too, there's an energy of falling in love with the wonder of life and being alive. So it's almost as if there's some kind of detachment happening here so that you can enjoy the present moment and the rhythms of nature. It's about even looking for the small magical things and how you nurture the small magic that is within your life. How can you do that more often? So let's take a peek. This is going to be a shorter reading, I think. I'm only going to pull 2 cards, and then we'll pull an oracle card to end your reading. So let's see what Soul Path 1 needs to know. What would feel nourishing and not productive at this time? We have the Ace of Pentacles with the Fool at the bottom of the deck, and that is in reverse. So this Ace of Pentacles feels very grounded. It feels very rooted in nature and not something that feels heavy, but comforting and supportive. So what I'm getting from that is looking for the opportunities to support yourself in the physical world. Getting rooted in nature could be a very strong possibility here, as the pentacles are that earthbound energy, the things within our material world that we can feel, hear, touch, sense, taste. So getting into those physical sensations, I feel is really going to help nourish you. You could be within the mind at this time and really overthinking something or considering something, trying to decide or problem solve. And with this blue damselfly being an air energy, that gives me the sense that there's a lot of thoughts happening. There's a lot of mental activity going on. Not necessarily a bad thing, but when we get into that overthinking state, it's really imperative that we balance that with the other things, the other elements. And one of those energies that's coming through here is that earth energy of getting into our body, getting into those sensations, being slower, more mindful, more present. Now, this might feel a little risky to you. And this Fool energy being in reverse, there feels like there might be a resistance to that. So I'm going to ask you to explore that resistance a little bit and why you may be resisting getting into the body or slowing down or taking time and space to get into nature, to spend more quiet time by yourself without any distractions. Now, is this oh, that's a bird. I thought it was a dragonfly. That would have been interesting. But yeah, it's like you're waiting for the right time to do this, or you're waiting for some kind of permission to take that leap or to make that change. The time is now. So give yourself permission to do that. You don't need a specific time, day, week, month to get into that present moment, to get into the magic of the moment and looking at those small details, to get into those senses of observing, of noticing, of grounding, feeling the earth beneath your feet or your body. Let's get a final card for you. For Soul Path 1 on how they can nourish themselves. Yeah, hibernate and regeneration. Hibernation and regeneration, but that is hibernate and regenerate as maybe part of your guidance or your action. So it's giving yourself that time and that space, and this person is underneath what looks like a tree, literally on the earth, taking their time to enjoy a quiet moment with their cat. So spending time with not only nature, but animals could be really important for you to help nourish yourself and to get into a different energy flow. Create more space and time for that. Make it a priority. And make it part of your process, your workday, your everyday, so that you can find maybe a little bit more balance and get out of that overthinking. And again, it's a new path, so there may be some risk involved, some metaphorical risk. It may not be risk in the sense where you're risking your life or you're compromising something important, but it is a risk to your old process, maybe your old beliefs, the things that you once valued. Those might be changing, so it's time to change with it, adapt, and create something new in its place. So this is the message I have for you, my dear Soul Path 1. If this sparks something for you, share in the comments and let me know, and subscribe so you don't miss your next reading. And remember, you're not here to wait for your future, you are here to create it in this moment. I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, my Soul Path 2. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Exuberant Quietude with the Passion Flower. So what I'm getting from that is to find spaces that offer you a sense of quiet or stillness, giving yourself a moment to think. This is like a luxurious free time where there's nothing to do in those moments, and you're giving yourself the time and the space to just be. And passion flowers, they grow, they reach, they climb. There's this wandering energy with that. There's a curiosity and a joy as well that comes through with that passion flower. Even the most mundane tasks can be beautiful and curious and joyful. So even though they might not be the most exciting tasks, and maybe they're mundane, washing the dishes, that gives us a moment for our mind to process and wander without necessarily actively thinking about something. It gives ourselves a little bit of a break, a mind break. So those kind of moments may be something to explore a little more. And also finding the excitement and the curiosity in those moments as well, rather than seeing them as something that you begrudge. It's like, how can you bring a little more, excitement and play into these moments. Maybe you can put on some music while you wash your dishes, or put on a show, or I don't know, do something that adds a little bit of playfulness and joy to the thing that you're doing. And this is also creating more space and time to be joyful and to wander like children do and get curious. So there's a lot of similarities here in the card that you chose in this Page of Cups, where rather than trudging through something, this is about bringing that lightness, that playfulness back into that mix. Four of Wands. It's that sacred space, creating that sacred space for play, to be able to explore and get curious, to enjoy yourself in somewhat of a structured environment. So it's rather than kind of looking at all of the options and getting overwhelmed, it's like, okay, tonight I'm going to draw for an hour. It doesn't have to be good. There's no goal. I'm just going to draw and play and see what happens when I mix ink and chalk, or when I mix water and ink, and just see what happens. Let go is the sense that I'm getting here. That was just one example, but what will really nourish you is to get into that playfulness a bit more overall. Maybe even finding ways to bring that playfulness into your home in an energetic sense. So, I want to say, how can you decorate your walls? That feels more of a pentacle energy. But what are some of the things that you can do within the home that maybe feel playful? Because, wands are action-oriented. They are purposeful. So what are those purposeful actions, those intentional actions that you can take, maybe within the structure of your day, or within your home? Let's see, gratitude and thanks. Yeah, it feels like this is really getting you into that. I mean, this is playful and transformative, but it's also having the gratitude to have the ability, the space and the time to be able to play. And so even though we might have a lot of adult responsibilities, that doesn't mean that we can't play, that we can't create time for play. I think it's going to be really important for you to do that. And with this exuberant quietude, it's not just about creating that sacred space to find those quiet moments and moments to wander, but also to be exuberant, to be expressive, to be creative. And if you don't see yourself as creative, explore that. Explore and see what happens. This isn't about shutting yourself down before you start. This is trying and seeing what happens. And even if you don't like what you do, that's okay. Even if you make mistakes, that's okay. Even if you look silly when you're dancing, that's okay. This is a judgment-free zone. A zone where you can just be free and be yourself without the heaviness of the responsibilities of your day. Allowing yourself to play, to have fun, in whatever shape or form that comes in. So this is the message I have for you today. If this sparked something for you, share in the comments and let me know. And subscribe so you don't miss your next reading. And remember, you're not here to wait for your future. You are here to create it in this moment. I'll see you in the next one. Hello, Soul Path 3. Welcome in. You chose the Just Be card with the oats. There's a gracefulness, a gentility, and also sturdiness. There's a balance that's happening here in kind of an environment or with material that doesn't feel very balanced. So there's maybe this need to find balance in unexpected ways or unexpected places. So what does it feel like to just be when you sit in a chair or on a couch and just be. Don't do anything. Don't look at your phone. Don't fill the space. Maybe when you're sipping your tea or coffee and you have nothing else to do in that moment for that 5 minutes or 10 minutes, how does that feel? Can you release this quest for answers or improvements or to fix something and just settle into that moment? Nourish yourself in that moment. And even let go of the expectations of yourself to do something, to solve something. Okay, so we are going to get a message for Soul Path 3 on what would feel nourishing and not productive at this time. So we're going to keep this relatively short. We're going to get one main card and then look at the bottom of the deck. We have King of Pentacles in reverse with the Magician in reverse. I kind of love this because this isn't about productivity at all. It's not even about creation. With both of these in reverse, there could be a need to create, to earn, to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is a point where we might need to slow down and settle into a different pace for a time, settle into a different focus, and allow the blocks, the creative blocks, the blocks to moving something forward, to seeing improvement, to achieving a goal, to get put on the shelf for a moment, to get pinned, so that we can just have a moment to settle in and recollect our thoughts, recollect or reclaim our power in some way, maybe even find clarity in a new direction, to give ourselves pause, of giving ourselves time to rebalance our priorities, to reorganize ourselves in some regard. But first comes the settling in to the being and the not doing. And this is exactly what these cards are showing us. So you might own a business, run a business, have a really high-powered career where there's lots of responsibilities and things to do, maybe people to manage, things to keep organized so that things run smoothly. But how often do you take a moment for yourself, to take a break, to take your mind off of what needs to be done, what goals you're trying to achieve, what things you're trying to create for yourself or others or for your business? There might be some new things that come in the space, some clarity, some words of wisdom. Taking care of yourself is really important, I feel, at this time. And just being is part of that caring, that self-care, of maybe taking a day off. I feel like you're a really hard worker and really ambitious, and you love what you do. So it's not like you don't want to do it. I feel like there's a genuine desire to do what you're doing, and you find great pride in it. But I also feel there's a lot of magic in the not doing. There's a lot of stability and care that we can find in those moments of not doing. And that inner, I don't know if it's an inner critic or the ambitious one that's inside of you that wants to go and do and be productive and see results. It's like that once you get into that being, that more divine feminine energy, it might kick and scream and make you feel uncomfortable so that it propels you into doing again. But it's about hearing it, saying, I understand, we can do this tomorrow, it's okay. Giving ourselves space and time is okay. Doing nothing is actually also productive because it is replenishing our energy. It is helping us subconsciously work through blocks rather than being active and being focused on those blocks. We are taking our mind off it. We are focusing somewhere else for a time. Okay, so for Soul Path 3, let's get a final card. Yeah, there's that divine feminine energy again of going with the flow and seeing where it leads. And of course, none of us really have the privilege to stop working or stop running our business. That's not an option. But is there a little wiggle room there? Is there a way that you can carve out 4 hours of your afternoon to just meander, to maybe find some kind of practical stability where you're meditating or you're doing yoga or you're getting outside in your garden or going to a body of water to relax and just flow for the day? Or is there more opportunities within your day or week where you can do that a little more often than you do, rather than simply focusing on the end goal, on making all the money, on creating all the things? This is slowing down. This is moving with the tides. This is listening to your body when it says, hey, we're blocked. Hey, we need a break. Even though your mind wants you to keep going and it wants you to keep producing, this is saying, we're going to change gears for a moment. It's okay. We'll come back to you. It's okay. And if there is some fears or some doubts or some sticky energy that comes with slowing down, that would be something to explore in this space. If you do feel the need to do something in this space where doing nothing feels a little too uncomfortable, that might be an exploration of, why does this feel uncomfortable? And just observing, like, I want to get up and do that thing, or I want to hop online and go here or do that. I want to go out and do this and that and the other thing. Just notice. Don't respond to that. Just notice when all of that kind of doing energy comes up. And just say, okay, we can do that in 10 minutes. We can do that in 4 hours. We can do that tomorrow. And start playing around with pausing before taking action, of going with the flow and seeing where the current wants to take you. So this is what I have for you, my dear Soul Path 3. If this sparks something for you, share in the comments and let me know, and subscribe so you don't miss your next reading. And remember, you're not here to wait for your future. You're here to create it in this moment. I'll see you in the next reading.